In last week's video, you watched me hijack the Lazo family road trip for my own photography. We began our adventure in Death Valley National Park, where we traversed the sand dunes in 100-degree weather to capture the sunset. We then captured some epic Milky Way photographs before heading back to Vegas to rest. We woke up and instantly indulged ourselves with some fast food from Sonic. We then made the long drive up to Zion National Park. We dropped off our bags at the motel and headed up to the park for sunset. The last time I visited Zion on our 5 days in the desert series, we went on a hot afternoon hike and caught a pretty nice sunset from one of the Virgin River bridges, but unfortunately was unable to stay for astrophotography since our home base was in Vegas. This trip would differ in many ways, including the fact that we could focus on photographing the Milky Way. The first thing I noticed once arriving to the park was the increased water level and the raging flow of the river. This gave both Darwin and myself the idea to shoot sunset near the riverbed. The problem was going to be finding a composition. Woo! Alright, well, good afternoon everybody. It's me, Spencer Lee, back here with another travel video. Ooh, come on this side, water bottle. Today we are out here in Zion National Park. It's our first day in Utah, second day on this trip. We were hoping to get, the classic shot with the Watchman, with the bridge and the water flow and the Virgin River flowing through. But last time we were here in Zion with Justin, we got that shot at sunset. So I'm not super tied to trying to get another shot, even if the conditions are different, but another shot like that. What I really wanted to try and focus on is trying to get down here by the river and focus on the water flow that's flowing through the river, because conditions-wise, the Virgin River is actually pumping a bunch of water, and we scouted out several spots before reaching to this particular point, and the water is just flowing. So I don't even think we're going to be able to go do the Narrows hike this particular trip, just because the water flow is so heavy. The struggle and the difficult part of shooting the river from river level is that you're getting all of these trees in the frame and they're blocking the Watchman. But we have about an hour and a half till sunset, so we have time to just kind of explore, get set up, and just wait for the light, hopefully. Honestly, I just need to find a spot where I can just sit and wait for the light to happen, if there is any light that's going to happen. But yeah, let's keep moving. All right, so we've got some pretty decent water flow flowing through the foreground, but we've got a couple of branches here and there that are a little distracting. So I'm gonna try my best to not get them in the frame and try to clone them out in post-processing. But we've got good water flow, we've got a nice unobstructed view of the Watchman. It's just one big mess right now. We're standing on any kind of rocks and just hoping that this works out. Should have brought my board shorts so I could dip in the water, but I didn't. It'd be a bad time to have a Arca Swiss plate fail or L bracket fail. Okay. Come on, tripod, get in there. And oh crap, it's raining. Oh well. Welcome to Mother Nature. Let's cover things up before we get too wet. And I think the only thing we're gonna leave out is a time lapse, and we're only gonna run out and take the shot if the light starts to happen, because I need these cameras to survive the rest of the trip, and I'm not really down for trying to lose them this early. Uh-oh, we're starting to get light, I'm not ready, because I was prepping for the flash flood. Good thing I have the time lapse going. But oh, that light's gonna start to open up. And with these clouds, I don't know if we're gonna get another chance to get a shot like this today. At least there's a little bit of light going. Oh man, please don't fall in the river with all my camera gear, please. Woo, woo, woo. There it is, there's the shot that we were all hoping and wishing for, somewhat. I hung out for a little longer, but the light didn't do anything after that small little splash of color earlier. Yeah, well, you lose some, you win some, you lose some. We'll see how Milky Way looks tonight because there's the thunderstorms out, but the sky looks pretty clear to me, so who knows? We'll see how it looks. But yeah, barring any miracle, we'll see you guys out again at Milky Way. Man, this trip has just been nuts. Absolutely crazy. It's only day 2. It's only day 2. After eating and resting a bit at the motel, we headed out for another late night astrophotography session. Is that too bright? That is really bright.
I want to enjoy that.
Perfect. All right, everybody, welcome back to Zion. We are here on one of the bridges, just shooting the Milky Way rising over the Watchman. Still rising, but it's behind the mountain peak right now, so we're just waiting for it to just kind of creep up and yeah, just hopefully be able to get a shot of that. We're just time-lapsing, even though the bridge does shake when we walk. I'm just time-lapsing just to see if we can get something that might be usable. If not, then we should be able to get some single exposures that are good when we all just stand completely still. So that's going as well. I got a time lapse set on the other side, and intermittently there's actually some lightning that's just kind of lighting up the sky. So hopefully we kind of catch something that might be cool, maybe just like a lit foreground or something like that. But yeah, it's beautiful, beautifully clear skies out tonight. It's a little chilly, a little cold, but not too bad. It's pretty comfortable. So yeah, we'll update you guys when something happens, but enjoy these first couple of time lapses from our first night out here in Zion. It's pretty much out. There's just a few more clouds that need to clear off the top, but it's pretty much there. I'm very happy we waited it out because that thing is pretty high up, and the Watchman, because we're so far away, they're this small, teeny, tiny little dot. So I think after we get some shots here on the bridge, we're gonna try and get a little bit closer, maybe go to the visitor center and try and make the Watchman a much bigger formation for our shots. But this shot with the river just is absolutely incredible. You can hear everyone photogasming and screaming. The only problem is, can't shake the bridge. Try not to move as much as possible so that we can get some nice, stable, clean shots from up here. But whoo, absolutely amazing. Almost there still. It's been almost there for 10 minutes already. freaking goodness gracious, guys. We are getting a show right now. It's totally clear. We drove to the visitor center and just found a little picnic area, and we're kind of shooting from the parking lot. But I think this is probably as close as we're gonna get to like essentially right up against the Watchman. So I just set up a horizontal and a vertical composition. We've got the sky lighting up with lightning, as you just saw, and the Milky Way is just right above it in perfect position, just looking absolutely incredible. And I'm not sure what exactly is lighting the peaks of the Watchman, but it is getting lit. It's getting lit well by something. So I guess maybe it's the lights that are coming in from the cities back there and just shining on it. But even though it's still dark, it's still getting lit, at least with a little bit of light that, you know, allows us to visualize the peaks and stuff, which is really nice and really awesome. So yeah, we're just gonna let these time lapses roll, do a panorama, and take our group shot. We did our group shot with the light flash yesterday in Death Valley, so hopefully we get another good one today, because man, it is looking absolutely beautiful this evening. After our all-nighter Milky Way shoot, everyone was pretty exhausted. I suggested that we climb Canyon Overlook for sunrise, and Jay was the only one willing to join. Let's see what the rest of the crew missed out on. Ooh, baby. Good morning. Welcome back to Canyon Overlook Trail. This is the trail that we did with Justin, and we had just finished shooting the Milky Way. Basically did an all-nighter. Started at around midnight, ended at around 4:30 in the morning, and we're out here really early. We have about an hour till sunrise. Good news, skies look clear, so hopefully we'll get some beautiful light over our mountain peaks back here. But we're gonna try and see if we can get some car trails running through the foreground first. So we're gonna set up our tripods, try to do some long exposures, and also, most importantly, try not to fall off of this cliff, because that would be very bad. All-nighters that accumulate with a death-defying hike, there's no better feeling. Alrighty, so Jay and I just finished photographing the car trails. Hopefully that one comes out good. I just started my time lapse. We're gonna let that run for the duration of the sunrise. Just get a nice transition between blue hour to golden hour. So the game plan for this sunrise is not going to do too much vlogging because, well, there's people that way. But what we are going to do is we're going to put the 100 to 400 on this camera, the A7 IV, and we're just going to snipe away wherever the light hits and wherever it illuminates some nice texture. Couldn't help myself. Telephoto time lapse, wide angle time lapse. Literally the light should be coming up at any moment. After what feels like 10 years, we're finally getting some direct light on our mountain. Oh my lord. Well worth the wait, but I was expecting it to come sooner. Whew, beautiful. Well, that concludes this morning, evening, whatever date or time it is. I'll see you guys tonight for sunset. The sleeping arrangements for this trip would be hilarious. I was warned that I needed to sleep on the floor because all the beds would be taken, so I made sure that I was prepared. After a pretty good nap, we woke up in the afternoon and had some decent Mexican food before heading out to the park for sunset. Alright folks, so we're back here in Zion. Pretty much shooting the same thing as yesterday, shooting the light on the Watchman back there. Tried scouting out a little bit of more compositions earlier, further up the trail, that direction, but couldn't find anything, so I figured we'd head back to the same exact spot that we shot yesterday and just hope that we get better light. Because the water flow was nice, and yeah, hopefully things will work out. Good thing is, skies look a little bit more clear that way, so we're getting a hint of light on the Watchman. And it was raining and storming heavier-ish earlier, so hopefully that means better water flow today. We'll see how it goes. That's awesome. Woo! Okay, so the rocks that I was standing on yesterday, totally underwater at this point, which creates its own challenges and I guess its own opportunities as well. I think we'll probably be safe for a shot if we set up here on this rock. As long as we don't move this thing too much, I think it should be pretty stable. But then we can get some nice separation between the river, try and separate the waterways from the branches in the foreground, separate the tree from the Watchman a little bit too. Yeah, overall I think it works for a shot. Show you guys real quick what we're working on here. Got the 16 to 35, gonna zoom in to maybe about 24 mil. We've got the water flow rushing through this foreground and it's coming in super fast. And then we got our tree in the middle and the Watchman Peak off to the left. I think that has a nice balance because the composition kind of goes diagonally like that. And instead of a vertical composition today, we're gonna stick to the horizontal just because it's such a wide scene. You got the water here on the right side and the Watchman all the way on the left. So I think horizontal is gonna do a better job at capturing this whole scene. We'll have to Photoshop out the branches here and the branches here and the branch here. But besides that, it's all kind of minor stuff, I think. And then we also got the polarizer just to kind of darken down the sky a little bit and the highlights on the Watchman. So that'll definitely help to emphasize those shots. I think we're pretty much locked in with the tripod here. We'll get this time lapse started. All right. Well, there's our first time lapse down. I think we're gonna try and also set up a telephoto time lapse just of the Watchman, and then we should be good to go. Super stoked for this sunset. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some direct light like how we are now. Hopefully that just intensifies with the sunset. And I'm hoping that those clouds on top stick around and maybe give us a little bit of color too. That would be nice as well. So usually when it comes to these vlogs, I usually try to impart some words of wisdom from my traveling and, you know, lessons that can be applied to like your guys' travel experiences as well. And the fact that we have 6 people, we can kind of do it very cheaply because we can split the cost up evenly between everybody. So I think between the 6 of us, it comes out to like less than $400 per head. So it's like a really good deal. So if you have the opportunity to travel with friends, I definitely highly recommend you do that because, you know, it makes the experience much more fun. It's a lot safer to do stuff like astrophotography and sunrise hikes when you have somebody to go with. I've done solo travel in the past and I've done all those things solo previously, but you know, it just gives you that extra peace of mind having somebody there and having friends to just kind of joke around, keep your energy up, because with all of these things, it's very energy intensive and energy draining. So the fact that we have 6 people to kind of help shoulder the load of driving and paying attention and while the other ones rest, it definitely really helps. So far I think that's the only takeaway that I can give you, but I'm sure as the trip kind of unfolds and as we shoot new locations, we'll learn different things and I'll be sure to share those with you guys as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty exhausted from the previous day, so I think I'm just gonna take some B-roll, let the sun set, kind of update you guys as conditions change. But besides that, I don't think we're gonna be doing a whole lot of anything else. But yeah, it's been a good one, and yeah, I've been really enjoying it and having a lot of fun so far. Too much camera gear. Who has too much camera gear? Spencer has too much camera gear. Oh my lord. Let's put this down for now. Whew. Well, another day, another kind of mediocre sunset here in Zion National Park. I mean, it was not bad. It wasn't as bad as yesterday. We got here early enough that we were able to get a little bit of light on the Watchman. So I'm not at all like totally complaining, but we didn't get that nice vibrant glow and we didn't get any high clouds glowing, so I'm complaining a little bit, but it was better than yesterday, so I'm thankful. But anyways, skies are looking relatively clear, so hopefully it stays that way. We can get some Milky Way tonight, we'll see. And then tomorrow we actually head out early, long 4-hour drive up to Capitol Reef National Park, which I'm super excited about because I've never visited there before and neither has anyone else, so I got to do a little bit of research. But yeah, I'm super stoked for that. Hopefully the astrophotography is good up there too. But man, it's been an absolutely insane and incredible trip thus far. All right, see you guys in a few hours. struggling out here today. Oh man. I'm just really struggling to try and find the correct foreground to put with our subject, the beautiful mountain. Now I did find the shot with this gnarly tree facing this other direction that I want to do a time lapse of, so I figured I would try and find, you know, a nice unobstructed view of the Watchman here. But every time I try to figure out something, it's just not really working as quite well as I thought it would. So yeah, you gotta try and make the most of it. Let's just set up our gnarly tree shot behind us, and we'll show you guys that in a second, and then we'll try and find our final Watchman shot somewhere around this area. All right, well, hopefully you guys can see that gnarly tree behind me. But I think I'm gonna set up the A7C 16-35 to photograph this guy, just do a time lapse. I think the tree just works as a perfect foreground for the background of those huge mountain peaks back there. And yeah, let's just try and see if we can get a nice shot of them. Might have to do one light paint of the trees and then time lapse the rest. There's a part of me that wants to really try and find that one good composition, and there's the part of me that just wants to time lapse away. So right now we're just time lapsing, just going to try and see if we can get the Milky Way to clear a little bit. I'm really happy with that shot, the one with our gnarly tree, but I'm not super happy with our Watchman shot, just because I don't know, I just feel like we're rushing and running out of time, and I'm kind of just throwing the best thing that I can together. The hardest part is the fact that we have two time lapses and we kind of have to stay relatively close to each of them. So that does come with its own set of challenges as well. Our last night here in Zion was pretty much a bust. I struggled to find a good composition, and the clouds were too heavy to get a clean shot of the Milky Way core. We called it an early night at around 2 a.m. and headed back to the motel to rest up for our next day, where we would explore a hidden Utah gem, Capitol Reef National Park.